The world of ARMY is once again made a sensation after an unexpected moment from the sweet and mysterious live Jimin. Without a hint, without a dramatic script, just a simple live broadcast. Yet his facial reaction succeeded in making millions of fans speechless and wondering, what really happened? Why does his expression feel different? And why does the name Jikook echo again in the timeline? To understand why this moment is so viral, we can't separate it from the two big names behind the speculation that always makes the fandom throb. Jungkook and of course BTS itself, as the home of friendship dynamics that are always warm and full of chemistry. Initially, the live was relaxed. Jimin greeted ARMY with his trademark smile, gentle, warm, caring. He talks about his daily life, music, and his longing for fans. Everything feels normal, until one small moment changes the atmosphere. A fan wrote a comment that vaguely mentioned Jungkook's name. Not exaggerated, not frontal. Just enough to provoke a reaction. And that's where everything changed. Jimin, who had previously laughed lightly, was suddenly silent for a fraction of a second. His gaze shifted, his smile holding something. He tried to remain calm, but the expression, an expression of a fraction of a second, was caught clearly by the camera. ARMY? They don't miss it. Many said the reaction was not just surprised. There was a mixture of nervousness, embarrassment, and for some reason, warmth. It was as if there was something he wanted to say, but chose not to. A few seconds later, Jimin smiled again. But the smile is different. Thinner. More restrained. He then turned the conversation around. And it is precisely that diversion that makes speculation even wilder. Does he dodge? Or just to maintain privacy? The interaction between Jimin and Jungkook is always in the spotlight. Since the debut era, the two have been known to be very close. From rehearsals together, world tours, to small moments backstage, their chemistry feels natural. Even in various official content, the two often show a closeness that makes fans smile or scream hysterically. But it's important to remember, their relationship is a friendship that has been forged by time, industry pressures, and long journeys together as part of BTS. Closeness is real, and that's what makes small moments like Jimin's live feel so impactful. What was interesting was not only Jimin's expression, but how the ARMY responded to it. Instead of immediately making an exaggerated narrative, many are silent. They replayed the clip many times, analyzed smiles, eye highlights, and even breath breaks. Some say, it's not an ordinary expression. He looked like he wanted to say something. Why does it feel different? But there are also wise people who remind that idols are also human. They have personal space, spontaneous emotions, and the right not to explain everything. And maybe it is precisely the mystery that makes this moment feel so deep. In the world of fandom, the line between fact and interpretation is often thin. One expression can mean 1,000 theories. One smile can be the subject of weeks of discussion. But behind all that, the most important thing is one thing: affection. Whether it's Jikook as a best friend, as a group mate, or just two humans growing up together under the spotlight of the world, what is obvious is comfort and warmth. Jimin's live that night might only last a few tens of minutes. Yet one small reaction has created a huge wave in the hearts of fans. The answer may be simple: spontaneity. Or maybe it's deeper than that. For sure, this moment shows that even after all these years, the relationship between BTS members is still able to make ARMY feel something sincere. Something that is not made up. And maybe we don't always need a definitive answer. Sometimes, just seeing them smile and knowing that they're still there for each other is more than enough. And that makes it all the more interesting, is what happens after the live ends. Timeline X, Twitter, is immediately filled with clips of 3 to 5 seconds long. The cut was slowed down. Zoom. Some even added a slow motion effect just to capture the change in Jimin's expression when Jungkook's name appeared in the comment column. ARMY is like watching a drama scene. even though what happened was just a casual live. But that's where the magic lies. A few hours after the live, hashtags related to Jikook began to rise. Not because of a scandal, not because of a controversial statement, just because of one expression that felt different. Some said Jimin looked nervous. Some said he looked happy but held back. There are also those who feel like they are touched by something simple. Interestingly, there is no clarification. There is no further explanation. And maybe it's not necessary, because in the world of BTS, many things speak without words. If you look deeper, Jimin's reaction is not something dramatic. He did not cover his face. Don't laugh too much. Nor do you avoid the camera to the extreme. All that happened was a pause. A small pause that feels long. A gaze that had gone down. Thinly drawn lips. And a breath that seemed to be held back before he resumed the conversation. For some, it may be commonplace. But for armies who have been following their journey for years, such a small change feels significant. Because they know how Jimin usually reacts. They know his smile pattern. And they know when the expression is sincere, without filters. For more than a decade, Jimin and Jungkook grew up together in a harsh industry. From young trainees to global superstars, the journey is not something light. They shared the stage, sharing pressure, share your dreams, and that closeness cannot be faked. There are many moments in the past, whether at concerts, behind the scenes, or variety shows, that show how comfortable they are with each other. Gazes that look for each other on stage. Laughter in the middle of the interview. Unsolicited protective gestures. All of that forms a strong narrative in the hearts of fans. So when Jimin's live shows a different reaction, it's only natural that ARMY immediately connects him to that long history. Here's the most interesting part. There is no official statement. There is no recognition. There is no confirmation whatsoever. All there is a collective feeling. And sometimes, in the world of fandom, that feeling is stronger than the fact. But it's important to stay smart. The closeness between members is part of the group's long-standing dynamics. Deep friendships often seem intimate to the viewer, even though they are a natural form of comfort. Perhaps Jimin's reaction that night was just a spontaneous reflection. Maybe he was surprised to see the comment. Or maybe he's just tired and trying to stay focused. We never really know, because it feels real. Not made up, not planned, not packaged for promotion. Only an idol is live, reading comments and reacting like an ordinary human being. And maybe that's the reason why ARMY is silent. Because behind the global spotlight, international accolades, and millions of viewers, they are still human beings with genuine emotions. That question may not require a definitive answer. What is clear is that the chemistry between Jimin and Jungkook is still able to make millions of hearts pounding from just one brief expression. And perhaps the most beautiful of all is this. It's not about labels. It's not about theory. It's not about proof. Rather, it's about how two people who grew up together can still influence each other through just one name mentioned.